What? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Snake Eyes. Welcome back to the Snake Eyes These $1 channel. Before we get started, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe before I kick y'all ass. No, I'm just playing. I already know how I do already. Follow me on both my social medias. My Twitter is going to be SnakeEyes_dollar, the dollar as in Dame Dollar. And for my Instagram, it's going to be all lowercase SnakeEyes_W dollar. And once again, dollar as in Dame Dollar. Alright? So, a couple big announcements. So, number one, boy, 23 years old. My birthday was October 2nd. And the Eagles are 4-0. We dodged the bullet, because that was a tough game to say the least. The weather was complete garbage. Before even the weather, the weather was the least of our problems. There was a lot of injuries before the game and after the game. So, Boston Scott got a rib injury. I think it was in practice. So we moved Trey Sermon up to the active roster. We'll talk about him. He actually played great with the carries he got. We'll talk about him later on, a little later on in this video. And also, Vontae Maddox had an ankle injury in practice. So I think it was Andre something with a C. I don't know what the dude's last name. So he was moved up. They didn't trust Kevon Wallace. I don't think any Eagle fan trusts him either. So he didn't get any playing time. Let's see what else. So during the game, there was a few injuries here and there. So Malata got hurt. I believe he had it was a shoulder injury. Darius Slay had a forearm injury. Both of them, both Malata and Darius Slay were actually out. Their injuries caused them to be out for the rest of the game. So as a result, Zach McPherson and Josiah Scott got some reps. So, and I believe Samalu, he had an ankle injury. I believe it was in-game, I'm not mistaken. And I think Opita took over for him, and I heard Opita did really, really well. I heard Driscoll played really well. So, a lot of injuries before the game. And I heard Devontae Smith had a close call, very close call. I believe it was a non-contact injury. So, that was scary. So, overall, it's been rough. So far, leading into the Arizona game, the only injuries that we need to be concerned about is if Samalu might be coming back off the ankle, and if because I heard, I don't know who made the comment, Sirianni said, I believe, that everybody's going to have a chance to play next weekend. The only person who Samalu might not play, because that's why we signed Tyrese Robinson to the practice squad. He's an undrafted free agent who came from Oklahoma. So we'll see if he's going to get any playing time at all. So Avonte Maddox is going to be a guy we need to watch out for. He might miss another week. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but it's a good chance Avonte Maddox might miss another week. But the way the defense played in the secondary, it shouldn't be too big of an issue, right? And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did really, really good in his respective position because Christian Kirk didn't do shit. We'll talk about that later on. So let's start off with the offense. Jalen Hurts threw a pick six. Yeah, what? In the first quarter, I believe it was the first drive. He was trying to throw to Zach Pascal. It was too tight of a window, too many Jaguar jerseys there. Malata got injured trying to make the tackle. There was even some Eagles fans that were kind of like low-key clowning A.J. Brown for him kind of just falling over, whatever, trying to make a tackle. He claims that he was trying to force a fumble, try to poke the ball out. So that was kind of funny. Oh yeah, congratulations also to A.J. Brown for his, the birth of his second child. So congrats. I have no idea what it's like to be a father. Obviously, I ain't got no kids of my own. But either way, congratulations. And the offense jumped out 14-0. And the funny thing is, I said that James Robinson was going to be an issue this game, and we pretty much shut him down. If I'm not mistaken, he only had 29 carries, and he had about 3 yards a carry, which basically we pretty much shut him down. I don't even think he even scored a touchdown. Like, ETN got us on some big runs here and there. Agnew was straight killing us. He had 2 touchdowns, I believe, 1 in the first quarter and 1 in the fourth. So Agnew was definitely on point. They could have jumped out at us 21-0, but I think Trevor Lawrence either fumbled the football.
It's time to play. What's wrong with this picture?
Something happened. I think he fumbled the football, so that play was never able to come to fruition. So yeah, Miles Sanders.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the GOAT.
man, like it's going to be a rough offseason to say the least, because I was watching Joey Shakes talk about it. There is a good chance that, you know, I believe the Eagles feel like that he is expendable. He had 27 carries for I think 130 something yards and excuse the noise, by the way. He had 27 carries for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was basically, in my opinion, the offensive player of the game. And also he had to carry that load just because of the fact that it was raining. So as much weapons that we do have, drops are going to be an issue, and believe me, they definitely were an issue. And I believe he had 22 yards receiving as well. I said it before, and I'm also going to say it again. Miles Sanders, when healthy, is a top 10 NFL running back without question. And he showed it. And one thing I love about Miles Sanders is that, like, angry Miles Sanders is nothing to play with. Angry Miles Sanders is a problem. I remember he was mad as hell last year because the first half of the season, he was not giving the ball at all. Like the first half of the season, we was not giving this man to carry the ball at all. And when we finally decided to do it in the second half of the season, he started dealing with some injuries. So it's very hard to find a running back like that. You know, he has good speed. He runs tough. He's not afraid to just run between the tackles and just run ferociously. He's not afraid of contact. He got speed. He can actually, he's a valuable option receiving out of the backfield. He answered the call. We needed him to carry us to victory today, and he definitely, without question, put the team on his back. Jalen Hurts for that game, I believe he had 204 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he did run for one. He had Gainwell wide. When I say wide open for a touchdown pass. He decided to try to run, and damn near almost got himself hurt, and it was this close to fumbling the football in the process. You got to look at all options of the field. Now again, I could say weather was a factor, but I've also seen him do this earlier in the season. Like it's not his first time ignoring the easy options. I feel like that, you know, Gainwell was the more safer option that would have been, you know, less of an injury risk than him trying to run in between in between the heart of that Jaguar defense. But we scored. He didn't get injured, so lucky, right? AJ Brown had a really good game. He had a drop. I think I believe it was a third down sometime in the fourth quarter. AJ Brown had 95 yards, so he had a pretty good game. But he did drop a relatively easy pass for a first down. So that was like, it drops happening part of the game, but either way, he definitely came up big and helped move the chains and keep the offense going down the field. Goddard had a pretty good game. He also had a drop pass. I believe it was a third or fourth down, but he actually played outside of that drop, because I believe he had like either 72 or 75 yards for the day. Outside of that drop, he actually played pretty good. When I watched the game, at least the highlights, because like I said before, I live in Chicago, I live in Philadelphia, so there's only but so much of film I would have access to. If I could watch the game, believe me, I would have watched the game. There was some time that he rolled out when he extended plays that he did a really, really good job of putting the ball on the money and actually, like, you know, finding guys open. There was some times where, like, he would extend plays and he would look to run when he had receivers open, like I said before. Even though he got the rushing touchdown, it would have made more sense to give it to Gainwell, who was wide open. He didn't see him. He didn't go through, like, I feel like that, especially in that first half specifically, he should have did a better job of going through his progressions, and I feel like that he didn't. In the first half specifically, he didn't always do that. But not really the first half. I would say the first quarter. One thing is a common recurrent theme this season is that Jalen Hurts will always have a slow first quarter, which I think it's normal for any team because you just started. Both teams are trying to fill each other out. But he normally has a slow start in that first quarter, and then the second quarter and up, he finally gets into the groove of the game. He finally starts, you know, throwing dimes, moving the chains, and you can tell by the way he's playing. Second quarter and up, he feels more comfortable in taking complete control and command of the offense. Now again, like I said before, weather is a factor. When it's raining and you're wearing a visor, you're probably not going to, your vision is not going to be as good as if it was in good weather. But like I said before, I've seen him do the same thing in good weather as well. Moving on from Jalen Hurts, Quez Watkins not getting involved is starting to concern me just a little bit. This is, I think, the second or third game in a row. Detroit, it was the game against the Commanders, and in this game, he doesn't have any receptions. That's a weapon we don't want to lose. Not only is this man, I think, the top 5 fastest players in the league, this man has hands, and he came through in the clutch a lot of the time. So Steichen got to figure out a way to go get Quez Watkins more involved and get him some catches. Devontae Smith had 17 yards. Wasn't really worried too much about his production. I thought that when his number was called, he did what he could. And like I said before, as far as the offense as a whole, it's only but so much anybody can do. Number one, the run had to be the primary mode of concern, because throwing a slick ball down the field, the ball's not going to always come out crisp. It's not going to always come out in a tight spot. It's not going to always go the distance that you want it to. Not only was it raining, it was a little bit chilly because it was in the 50s. It was windy as well. We've got to talk about Trey Sermon. So Trey Sermon had a hell of a game with the couple carries he got. The refs let him get away with a face mask. I didn't like that too much. But he's as advertised. At first I was nervous because 49er fans were kind of like they were disappointed by the guy. They was like, well, we trade up to the 3rd round to go get him, but he played really well. A different system, fresh start, tough physical running. I see it. I would love to have him get maybe 4 or 5 carries a game. It wouldn't hurt, right? Obviously, when Boston Scott comes back, I don't know if it's gonna be next week or the week after, whenever, he'll probably take his place. But I would love to have Trey Sermon on an active roster. One thing I didn't like about the offense, you went forward on 4th down way too much. I believe it was like a 29-20. It was when 29-21 in the 4th quarter. And we went forward on our own, I think, 20-something yard line. Which didn't make sense to me at all. Now, again, we almost got it had it not been for a drop pass. I remember it was Goddard that dropped it, or A.J. Brown. But why are we went for 4th downs, in my opinion, way too much. Like, in my honest opinion, I don't think we need to go for 4th down no more than like 3 times in the game. If we really want to be that team, like, you know what, we're going to be aggressive. I like the aggressive mentality, but you're doing it too much. The amount of times that we did, what we're doing is we're leaving points on the board. So instead of kicking a field goal when we should, we're going for it on 4th down when it doesn't make sense to. I probably mentioned on my Twitter and social media at one point in time, Justin Tucker is not just the best kicker of this current era. He's the best kicker of all time. If we can pick one kicker in the NFL outside of Justin Tucker that we will rely on to hit a game-winning field goal on for us, who would it be? It would be Jake Elliott. So consistently, I've seen him. Number one, he has a very, very strong leg. He doesn't miss. I don't even really watch games. I don't really hear about him missing damn near at all. But he did. Again, like I said before, conditions could play a part of it. He almost got hurt. He took a nasty hit. I don't remember who hit him, but I don't think that really matters. But the good thing is he seemed to be okay. So we should expect him back next week. But damn, that was a close call to say the least. We're going to go straight to the defense. All right. Pass rush. The defensive line looks really, really good. I don't know what happened in Washington. I don't know what Gannon's doing, but that defensive line looks good, right? Brandon Graham was active. I love the way these last 2 games, give Fletcher Cox his credit. This man is hooping. Fletcher Cox is making some plays. Like he you know, every now and then he got some glimpses of his old self back in 2017, 2018, and then backwards. Like, he looked like himself again. Like, so it's cool to see Brandon Graham and Cox, you know, still got something left in the tank and not letting their age be a hindrance whatsoever. Just reversing the clock as much as they can. Josh Sweat, I think, had a forced fumble in that game. He either had a sack or a forced fumble. I don't remember, or one or the other. But Josh Sweat did good. TJ Edwards once again led the team in tackles. He had like 4 tackles and 2 for assists. Hassan Reddick.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Hassan Reddick finally Gannon is utilizing him the way he's supposed to. I noticed that we're blitzing more. Right? I've heard some, you know, Philly 500 said that, you know, they needed to blitz more often. I thought it was from my perspective, looking at the highlights, I feel like that they blitzed enough. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like that it was necessary to blitz the whole time because they have to pick and choose. And you also got to remember too, that team got some weapons. You know, that Jaguars team got some receivers. So just because we shut down Christian Kirk, they still got other options. James Robinson's a viable option out the backfield. ETN, valuable option. Agnew was killing us and almost killed us for not just 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. And also, they got Marvin Jones as well. So, this team got some weapons. This is not a team you want to sleep on. It may be like maybe 1 or 2 receivers or a tight end that's like not coming to me right now, but that team got pieces on that offensive end for sure. Yeah, Sam Reddick, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles? I mean, damn. Like, this dude, this dude is a star. Like, we literally stole this dude from the Panthers.
What the hell you doing in my house? Eating a big ass sandwich and shit.
Nigga, I'm Santa Claus. What the fuck the milk and cookies?
Like, without question. Like, we should have paid him more. We should have had to have paid him more money. But, yeah, we gotta, for as long as humanly possible, we gotta keep Reddick on our team. I'm not saying he can't be in coverage. But I like the way that, you know, Gannon has stopped having him in coverage so many times, right? Can he play coverage? Yes. But his specialty is rushing the passer. The same way you don't let Von Miller or LT, you don't let those guys just, go on the coverage. You know that their responsibility when they get on that edge, but like when they're in the game, and on that defense, their responsibility is to get after the quarterback. Let me talk about the secondary. So Josiah Scott and Jack McPherson, they struggled in the beginning. They've blown some coverages here and there. I heard that, the miscommunications in defense led to, I believe, like one of the, bear with me with the noise, okay? So Kirk, I think, had either 60 or 70 yards for the day, but he pretty much got shut down.
You ain't bad. You ain't nothing.
Completely shut down. His only really big moment was catching that 30 or 40 yard reception in the 4th quarter. That was pretty much it. Trevor Lawrence had butterfingers.
Nobody's gonna lay a finger on my butterfinger.
Dude was just fumbling. Like, forget about the fact that, yeah, the defense made its plays. Yes, the secondary was played outstanding despite the fact that we were shorthanded. We were shorthanded with Darius Slay coming out of the game. We were shorthanded without Avonte Maddox, who is, if we're going to say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is the best nickel corner in football, Avonte Maddox is 2nd place without question. If we can consistently make these guys, Terry McLaurin didn't get anything against us in Washington. Justin Jefferson got shut down. And then recently Christian Kirk didn't do anything. If we get shut down every team's best receiver, like with no problem, week to week, I don't see how, as long as Jalen Hurts does what he's supposed to do, I don't see how any team's beating us. And I feel dumb as hell because of the fact that I was crying and angry and even cursed out Hy Roseman on Twitter for not drafting Trent McDuffie. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what Bradbury's number is going to be like. I don't know if he's going to take a pay cut because I think part of the reason why he left the Giants because, not part of the reason. He left the Giants because they didn't give him the number that he deserved. Partially because he had a down year, or maybe because of the fact the Giants are into some bad contracts. I believe it's like they give Galloway, the receiver, way too much money. A lot of the turnovers that we got off the fumble recoveries and everything, a lot of it was just Trevor Lawrence not, holding the ball. He was fumbling like damn near once every drive from the 2nd quarter and up. Like, he was basically, he was giving us Christmas gifts and it was only October 2nd. Like, listen, matter of fact, this man, without even knowing, was giving me birthday presents. Like, come on, now, like, he's giving me birthday presents to help the Eagles with. Like, so, let's quickly talk about the Arizona game. This is another trap game here because this is a team that, in my opinion, is very much beatable. But this is a team that if we're not focused and we come in and feeling ourselves 4-0, we can lose this game very easily. Very easily. Kyler Murray, I think, is overrated. I don't think he's trash, like LaShawn McCoy allegedly said. I don't think he's garbage. But I do think he's overrated, and I also think that he hasn't done enough, in my opinion, to deserve the big contract, right? And this is something within myself. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was Kyler Murray and I played like that with, you know, in the playoffs, and I believe it was his first playoff appearance. It was against the Rams. If I play like that, my mind is not going to be on no damn money. My mind is going to be like, yo, how the hell could I make sure that game doesn't happen again, right? It's about taking accountability. Like, I swear on everything, if the world had Jalen Hurts' accountability, like, we'd be, as a society, we'd be in a much better place. But that's neither here nor there. The accountability. I'm not worried about no. If I play like garbage, that's like Ben Simmons, like literally played the way he played. Pardon the pun, because it's Philadelphia, but played the way he played in that series. They'd be like, "Yo, I'm gonna hold out." What gives you the right to do that? You play like garbage against the Rams. I will be focused on, oh shit, I just fucked up my team, and I need to get my shit together so that way I can be the leader of the team and do what they came to draft me for, which is be the franchise quarterback. Not talk about money. The money comes when you've earned that, and I don't think he's earned. I'm not. Again, every man should get their money at their entitlement. Football's a dangerous sport. You're risking your life, and if you can produce and maximize your leverage, do that. I just felt, in my opinion, the Cardinals should have made him earn, because I'm gonna be a little unbiased. Dak Prescott should have got paid a long time ago. Like as fast as Kyler Murray got paid, that's how fast Dak Prescott should have got his number. Okay, and this is being unbiased. This is outside the fact that, you know, we don't mess with no Cowboys around here. Also, Arizona came back, and they have weapons on the offensive end. I don't know what's going on with DeAndre Hopkins. Is he playing? Is he injured? Because I haven't heard anything about him. So if y'all know what's going on, maybe I'll do my own research. Matter of fact, I probably don't even have to do it. But if y'all can let me know in the comments, cool. If not, I'll just find out on my own, because I don't know if DeAndre Hopkins is still on the team. Is he injured? Is he a free agent? I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard anything about him all season long, which is completely weird to me. The defense is still good. You got Byron Murphy and like a couple other guys in the secondary that are like Pro Bowl caliber players. And also J.J. Watt is really good too. James Conner can hurt us too. He's the big physical back. And sometimes as a defense, I don't like the way we tackle. So if we don't do a good job tackling Conner, he's going to have himself a 100-yard game. So, my opinion, keys to victory. Obviously, got to keep Kyler Murray inside of the pocket. Don't give him no room to run, because he's going to run all over us. He is fast. He is fast. We're not going to take that away from him. He's mobile, but let's make him throw the ball down the field. Let's challenge him to be able to utilize his arm versus his legs. Okay, so that means the defensive line got to stay disciplined, which I'm not worried about too much, because Brandon Graham, Cox, and Sweat, I trust those guys to be disciplined enough to do their jobs. So I'm not worried about that. I trust Hassan Reddick, who's a Pro Bowl caliber player. I trust the defense. And here's the thing with that, everybody got to stop talking. Stop talking about the revenge against Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz was not the reason why he left. I wanted Zach Ertz. He was still playing well. The Eagles decided to get rid of him. Ertz didn't want to leave. The Eagles made him leave. So stop talking about this is a revenge game. Ertz is an Eagles legend. I have no animosity towards the dude. The man made so much. Even when Jalen Hurts last year wasn't a quarterback he is now, he was still bailing us out of a critical third and fourth down conversions. He was still reliable. He still produced for us. So what he means to our team, there's no such thing as a revenge game, right? I understand animosity towards Jalen Reagor, right? Maybe you want to kind of prove it to Doug Peterson, be like, hey, this is a new era, right? No animosity toward Doug Peterson. I like Doug. Doug Peterson was a hell of a coach. I like what Sirianni's doing now. I see the vision, and I'm messing with it. I ain't gonna lie. Doug Peterson won us the Super Bowl, our first Super Bowl in franchise history. Not an NFL championship in the 60s in 1949, right? A real Super Bowl in the current era. Beating the Patriots with Tom Brady. So that could never be his tenure, and dealing with Carson Wentz's garbage ass. That could never be erased. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is my last video for a minute. The next video is going to be not about the Eagles, right? I'll still talk about the Eagles on my Instagram and on my Twitter, so that's going to be there. But this is going to be the last video concerning the Eagles. right? It's nice to be 4-0 on our birthday. Also, just kind of reiterate, like, I gotta give credit where credit's due. I like the way I like the way Jonathan Gannon is coaching his defense. I like it. I get like he played a hell of a game, and he got guys who Zach McPherson, those guys aren't really ready to be starters at all. They're not even really serviceable. They're not that good. They're okay. Not even really that. Maddox out, Darius Slay out, and the defense played as if none of those guys were out. Washington, in my opinion, was our best performance. I would go as far as to say Jacksonville was. Okay, I'll put Minnesota second and I'll put Jacksonville third. I'm gonna get some music out for y'all. I know y'all been waiting for it. We're gonna make it happen, alright? Brother got big dreams but don't have a big bank account. Please donate in that GoFundMe link down below in the description. If y'all haven't already, go listen to the album of the year, Road to XXL. That's also in the description as well. If you haven't watched my previous Eagles videos, do that. They're all fire. You know what I'm saying? We up here doing our thing, alright? Like, comment, subscribe. I know what it is. I love y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Alright?